Okay, guys, and welcome back to part three of this book series for trading. Part one will all be in the same playlist and in the description down below, and I'll put some cards up at the end of the video to send you guys to those. So, part one was about trading related books, so books that I think are very important when it comes to the actual art, learning the art of trading. Part two, I think, may be the most important, where it's talking about psychology and how important psychology is when it comes to trading. Part three, we're going to talk about productivity, and people may even ask or be wondering why I think that this part is important. Productivity when it comes to trading. Oh, I think trading is just, you know, finding things on a chart and guessing where the direction is going to go next, and away you go. But what you'll see if you start following traders who are profitable and traders who are happy with where they are in their trading is that it's a lot to do with their process. They have a certain set of steps or processes or things that they do each and every day, week, month, and year. And that allows them over the long run to remain profitable, which is really what's important in trading, is not what happens on your next trade. It's that what happens on your next 1,000 trades or 10,000 trades. So process is very important. And although trading's not an insane amount of work, it can be very, very time consuming if you are not careful with your time, right? If you're not using your time in an effective manner, you can really have a hard time just when it comes to trading in general. We're going to go over the top four productivity books and how I think they're going to apply to trading. So let's go over here. And here we are. So, again, top four trading productivity books with me. The first one is Outliers with Malcolm Gladwell. This one's great because it explains the importance of a process. So this is a good one to get you in the mindset of thinking how to build a process as opposed to just trying. Again, most traders are very concerned with their next trade. You'll see professional traders don't care about any one trade because they're all risking, a tiny amount to make a slightly bigger than tiny amount. And then that process is what's going to make them the money over the long run. So this one's great. It just talks about how a lot of very successful people have built a process and what's the importance of that process and what's the importance of, pushing through that and making sure that you're putting in those hours. Now with trading, there's just one caveat I want to put in. When he talks about the 10,000 hours and putting in the 10,000 hours, in trading, that doesn't mean actually pushing the buttons to trade. For that, it should be more about the process of building a trading system and understanding a trading system. Book number two. This is a great one, Make It Stick. So this is kind of going to reteach you the entire concept of learning. And the beauty of this when you're going through and you're trying to become a more productive trader is if you understand the mechanics of how the brain learns, then you'll be way better at understanding, okay, this is what I need to focus on. This is what's important to me. Let me learn this skill or this kind of way in the method that these people bring out here. So, there's a bunch of writers in it, but they go through scientific literature and they talk about how the brain learns and how quite often we're wrong about how that learns. So this, the first one will set up the reason why it's important to focus on process. This will teach you how to learn process, how to learn new skills that you'll need in order to become a better trader. Simple example is, for me, I use this book and created my whole study process around the chartered market technician around this book. And I'm actually currently learning Python to up the skill or up my game when it comes to data management and building systems. And again, I'm using the process that I've learned here. Number four is Atomic Habits. It's talking about how small habits over the long run can make a big deal. And again, I know this is a bit hippy dippy compared to a lot of the things, but hugely important that you use resources and books like this to build yourself a process and write that process down so you know each day I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. You know, the fantasy painted about, I just open up my laptop and I click some buttons for a couple seconds and I close it and I move on. That's not how it works. The best traders have recurring habits that make sure that they're going over X amount of charts or studying X amount of system or reviewing their trades in this way or that way. These little systems are very, very important. Again, I probably spend half the amount of time or less than a new trader should based on that system, right? So I've been able to take, this much work and just condense it into this period of time because I know this one, 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 away you go, right? And then last but not least, this may be the most important, I think, in the system is the checklist manifesto. So long story short with this one, a gentleman was trying to figure out why the wealth of a country and the amount of deaths due to surgery mistakes or surgery mishaps wasn't correlated. One would think the wealthier the country, the less mistakes. It wasn't the way this worked. What was more accurate was the amount of checklists people had reduced mistakes. So that in and of itself is very important for trading. Where you can go through and you can say, okay, for me to enter a trade, I need to look at this and this and this and this and this. Okay, all the boxes are checked. Take the trade. That's one way to look at it. The other way, and the way I do myself, is I have a checklist for myself each day and saying, have you reviewed today's trades? Have you, put them into this spreadsheet that I have that tracks everything? Have you journaled today's trades? Have you scanned for the next day's trading? Have you, right? So I know, okay, I won't forget any of the things in this process that I hope you guys are going to build with this because I have it all kind of checklist out like that. So again, those are my top 4 trading books. Again, I hope you like this series. And again, this series was started because of Sam, a follower of mine. He requested books to read. He wanted to be able to expand his knowledge outside of what we're doing here at Stats Edge Trading and myself. So I made the video series. So again, comments will always push what's kind of happening next. I've got always some ideas, things that I'm going to go through. But, if someone just suggests, hey, you should do this, and I like the idea, you can get a video series out of it. So again, comments down below. Thank you all for checking it out. YouTube keeps yelling at me to get you guys to hit like. So please, it helps with the algorithm, I guess. So that's fantastic. And I will